Well, Java, it is good to be here with you, my man. It's been a while since it's just you and I.
That's what I was about to say. Carol, she's missing out today, and but I'm happy to fill in.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
if this means if Sipp and Savor is when I need to fill in, I will gladly fill
take
in.
one for the team. I know how you are. Well, this is a chef restaurant. All-star lineup here today.
It is, and we have
quite amazing.
One of the we have the. I was going to say one of the headliners, but we have the headliner sitting with us right now.
We have Vish Bhatt from Oxford.
Yes, sir.
And you're the headliner today.
I am. Who'd have thunk it?
What's it like being the Rolling Stones on a festival?
Man, honestly, it's a little strange because you've got, the young superstars are out there already. I mean, they should be the headlining people. That's I've been doing this for 30 years, so.
You're getting your flowers, though, man. You're getting your flowers.
That's right. No, but I mean, it's a fantastic, what a great event. What a beautiful day. I got here a little early today. Got to walk around beautiful Meridian. I'd always driven through here and never stopped.
Oh, really?
And so having to, spend some time and walking around this beautiful downtown, this museum, which is absolutely fantastic, and then be up on that terrace with, just really people who are really happy to be here and enjoy the food and drinks. I mean, it's been a blast.
Great. Well, we're happy you're here. We're happy we're here.
Yeah, no, we are.
I'm happy you guys are here.
So you've prepared some eats for us.
I did.
Before Java eats, I have to know, what to feed him.
Because I see some things that are coming my way.
They may or may not be. I mean, remember, I'm sitting here.
There's two people before you.
Yes, well, I got a memo from y'all saying if I didn't bring food, you wouldn't interview me. So, but you have there you got some confit lamb ribs with a little rice salad and some pepper jelly that we like to make this time of the year. You got a little royal red shrimp salad there with some slider buns, little pea shoots that are coming up now. And since we're staying with the lamb theme, we've got some little lamb meatballs, kind of channeling my buddy Tim Hanses from Johnny's, kind of Greek-style lamb meatballs with spiced yogurt over there, a little sumac. And then, last but not the least, a little bit of, taste from the place I was born in, some crispy fried black-eyed peas, but in sort of a chaat form, which is Indian street food, with some spices and chilies and a little lime juice, just kind of crunchy black-eyed peas, if you will.
Talk to me about this pepper jelly, though, on this lamb. This is phenomenal.
Well, thank you. I mean, the peppers do most of the work.
Yeah.
So we got some nice peppers, this whatever combination. A little bit of sweet pepper, a little bit of hot pepper, kind of mixed.
You grow them in the back of the restaurant or at home?
I do, but these are not. I didn't grow these. It's a little early for peppers yet.
Okay.
So these are these are bought. But pepper and then a little bit of vinegar and sugar. I mean, I don't need to tell people in Mississippi how to make pepper jelly. They taught me how to make this. So,
well, your book, I Am From Here,
yes,
really has struck a chord with a lot of people. It's won some awards, and it has also sort of put your stake in the ground as to your cuisine, your background, your family, your talent.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's the book came about as a story of an immigrant, somebody who came to America in the mid '80s, and kind of learned what this country was about. And I've spent a lot of time, actually almost all of the time I've been here, 40 years now, in the South. 30 of them, or 32, 33 of them in Oxford, Mississippi. So, just wanted to be a part of that. It's like, hey, I'm here and this is my home. You get a lot of questions when you look like me. Hey, where are you from? And I say Oxford, and say, no, where are you really from? And I said, no, really, I'm from Oxford. Yes, I wasn't born in Oxford. I'll grant you that. But Oxford is home. That's where I grew up. That's where I learned my craft, and that's where I became who I am. That the reason I'm sitting here is because I live in Oxford. So that's that's why the book came about. Also, I just felt it was time. And I also had, unfortunately, because of COVID, some free time. So,
right.
So, I had stories I wanted to tell, and I'm glad people have enjoyed them and responded to them.
Well, it's a great book.
Thank you.
And it's well done. Now, you're at Snack Bar.
I am.
The restaurant that you and
Yes,
John Currents founded.
Yes, sir.
Have that right?
2009, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. And you've been there the whole way.
I have, yeah.
You've been the chef since the very beginning.
Day one, yeah.
And how would you describe the cuisine?
So the reference point at Snack Bar is always the South of where we are. That, this is where we start, and then from there, what ends up happening is I wanted to showcase some of the flavors that I had grown up with, and so this notion that, hey, these are some ingredients that I had grown up with as well. Black eyed peas being an example of those, and okra and tomatoes and peppers and greens and whatnot. Not so much meat and fish because I grew up vegetarian in a vegetarian family. But the idea is like, hey, these things that I grew up eating are also available here. How would people like them if I tried to season them, or at least add a little bit of that spice that I had grown up with? And that's what I've tried, and it seems to have gone pretty well.
2019 was a big year for you. You were named the Southern Living's Southerner of the Year. I mean,
it's crazy.
That's a big deal.
Pretty outrageous.
Pretty amazing, I know.
And then you also won the James Beard Foundation Best Chef South that year.
I did, and that was, again, what a great honor. And I mean, these things, I mean, especially the Beard Award, it's what was unfortunately they give, it's an individual medal, but what is actually true is it's restaurant work and what chefs do, what we do is, a lot of times take credit for a lot of work that happens behind the scene, and we just happen to be the folks, whose face is seen. So while I'm really proud of the work I've done and really proud of that medal, it is about what my crew has been able to do in Oxford. I mean, just to put Oxford on the map, to do the work, to do and I think I said this at the acceptance speech in 2019. We've had the maybe not most talented crew ever, but the hardest working crew in the South, and that still holds true. Of course, we have some new kids working now, but still they come in, they clock in, they put their heads down, and they've bought into what I'm trying to sell, and so that's amazing.
How many chefs or cooks do you think you've worked with since 2009 when you opened?
In my kitchen or generally? So let's say that's I'm gonna have to rough math, about 25, 30.
Okay.
Because again, we're in a college town, so we get some kids who are in college, want a temporary job, and then they graduate, move on to bigger, better things. A couple of them have graduated from our kitchen and gone on to go do their own things in places like Houston and on the Gulf Coast, and somebody's was in Chicago, is now in Atlanta. So that's
okay.
So we also have and those that's a really something that makes me really proud to see folks who have kind of taken are now establishing their own identities.
So we're talking. Go ahead, John.
No, well, I was just going to ask Vish, because you talked about some of the new kids that may come through the restaurant, and then you shied away from the headliner tag here because you say we got some phenomenal people, coming up. I want if you could identify some of those chefs that you're looking at that are doing some great things, and just any words that you may.
Are you going to put me on the spot? Are you?
Well, just any words that you may give to like an upcoming chef or somebody.
Well, let's start with the upcoming chefs, right? Okay. I mean, the thing is, be true to yourself, right? I mean, as a young cook, young chef coming up, I did a lot to kind of like, I want to cook like so and so, or I want to cook like Norman Van Aken, and which is all great, and you can go get Norman Van Aken's book, and it's lovely food. But when you do that, you're not telling your story. So tell your story. People want to, and when you learn how to tell your story, and you learn, to put those flavors that you've grown up with and the memories of food you had that made you happy, when those go on a plate, I guarantee you're going to make the people who are eating that food happy, and they're going to know you're going to leave a stamp. I mean, it's sort of, like, it's like, you brought up the Rolling Stones, for example. So when you hear a Keith Richards riff, it's him, right? He can certainly play guitar like somebody else, but he's Keith Richards. So go be your own Keith Richards, right? Let people see what you do.
Right.
That's the key, right? And that's the key to success and to you having fun. As far as who do I appreciate? I mean,
let's name drop a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, look, you've got Alex and Kumiko on the coast, just absolutely just crushing it, right? I mean, doing just brilliant stuff. You got Hunter Lewis. I mean, come on. I mean, these guys are just superstars now. Somebody I look up to, who's more of a contemporary, originally from Jackson, but now in Birmingham, Alabama, Tim Hanses. Pound for pound, absolutely the best chef in the South. You guys can put it in the book. You can, just write it down, stamp it, whatever. The Beard Foundation has done him some injustice, and I'm sorry to bring it up here.
That's all right.
But
man, you're the headliner.
Yeah, I'm the headline. So my buddy Tim Hanses, man, he's if you haven't eaten his food at Johnny's in Birmingham, you need to do it. But other than that, I mean, look, you got just the lineup here, man. I mean, you've got folks in Tupelo doing great stuff, and Jackson's blowing up, and the Gulf Coast, apparently the Michelin guide is going to come.
Yeah, it's coming to the south. Finally,
there you go. So, and clearly, I mean, John and Robert St. John and other folks were at the forefront of that, and responsible for making it happen, and we kind of followed it. And now you got this whole young group that they're just the amount of knowledge they have about food and beverage and how to run a business at their age. I could barely tie my shoes when I was, I was flunking out of Ole Miss when so that's that's how much talent we have.
Whole restaurants at their age. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, Vish, do you have a favorite kitchen appliance or utensil that you just love?
The air fryer.
I don't have one. I don't have an air fryer because I haven't really figured out what an air fryer is. So it's like frying is frying.
Right.
I mean, come
air
on.
is air.
I don't know. So I don't have an air fryer, unfortunately, and I could not. If somebody were to approach me and say, "Hey, here's a couple of $1,000 to write me a recipe to go in an air fryer," I can probably fake one, but I don't have one. So no, but as far as things go, like I love a good Dutch oven. Right, it's so versatile, right? So that's, and I don't know if that's a utensil, but I mean, it's it's a kitchen implement that I just use for everything, right? And then of course a good, reliable knife. I've had mine for and I'm not gonna tell you what brand it is because they don't pay me. But I've had it for 28 years.
Whoa!
And it still works and it still does its job. So that's that's kind of nice. And then I love I like doing things like that's not don't get me wrong. I mean I love folks who have the talent and the knowledge and they can do sous vide and make foams and stuff. But I just like a good old fashioned braised, right? I mean just like get it in the oven and hope it comes out right. I love that. So
okay, so what about a perfect meal or an ideal meal or one of your favorite meals, starting from soups to nuts, that you would like to fix if someone said, wow.
What's it got to be? One entree, 2 sides, a dessert, and a drink.
And I'm cooking this, or somebody's cooking for me?
No, anybody. It can be something your mom made, like your mom.
Oh, this is somebody made for me.
Meal.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's caveat. My favorite meal is anything that anybody cooks for me. It doesn't matter what it is. So there's that. I mean, you can.
I'm with you on that.
Right. So that's absolutely my favorite thing. But if you're going, I'm a big fan of again, I mean, I was, sort of, saying really nice things about Tim Hanses. I mean, he's not that nice of a guy, but,
even though he is from Jackson.
Yeah, even though, maybe that is why he's not so nice a guy. But I mean, the thing is, what I love that concept of meat and three, right? That is my favorite meal because it reminds me a lot of, as a kid growing in India, eating a thali, which is sort of like a smorgasbord of, various things,
very small dishes.
Mm-hmm. So that's what that's my connection to that. Like, I understand this concept, right? So a good meat and three, done right, is always with some greens. Got to have some butter beans or peas. If it's got okra in any form, if it's summertime, then man, that's great. And then it's like a good piece of fried chicken, and it's just
buddy,
and that's it's so simple. But you can mess it up so easily, right? And so when it's done right, and it's just that super crunchy, with lots of flavor on the inside.
Do you brine?
I do brine.
Tell us how you brine. What you brine with?
So I brine, and again, this is something that I kind of worked out in my head. There's this notion of eating fried chicken and drinking sweet tea. Yep. And I was like, well, if you have sweet tea, why not use it as a brine? Ooh. So that's what I brine my chicken in. We serve it every Tuesday at Snack Bar, and then we do a wet batter that we learned, from Miss Willie Mae Scotch House, in New Orleans, when SFA was down there and helped rebuild the restaurant, and she was kind enough to share the recipe for the batter with John, and then so we use it, a version of it. Our chicken's nowhere near as good as her chicken, but it's sort of an homage to her. And again, I mean, I like any brine. To me, again, this is a personal thing. I like sort of that little sweet, little spicy, little salty, all of that kind of all working together. So that's what I go with.
Well, there are rumors, Vish, that you are leaving the Snack Bar and leaving Oxford.
I am. Yes. When the rumors are true, I am moving to Washington D.C. I'm going to open help my friend Mehran Irani of the Chai Pani Restaurant Group, based out of Asheville, open a Chai Pani in Washington D.C. I'm going to be the executive chef there. But I'm not really leaving Oxford. I mean, Oxford is still home. I mean, we're going to keep our house there. We're going to go back and forth. But it's it is time, as I said. I mean, I've been at Snack Bar for now it's 16 years this month, and it's, as I said. I mean, there are young people that need that we need to make room for, and they need to show off their talents. And I'm turning 60 this year, so this is sort of that one of those moments that I had. I visited my dad. My dad just turned 93. I visited him in December, and. Every time I visit India, we always went to I had foods that I liked that other people cooked.
Right.
And so I would always go to their houses and they'll make me, and I would come from the U.S. and would have a, short visit. But I would go to my aunt's for, her stuffed okra, and I would go to somebody else for their, dessert, and I would go to somebody else, And all of a sudden this trip, wait, those people aren't there anymore. Right? I mean, they've all gotten old, and I'm 60, so they're, in their 80s, and, they're gone. And I never, ever can spend time recording any of those recipes, right? And so that dawned on me when I came back, and it's and so when this chance came up, to cook with Mehran and cook some Indian food, and it's it's something I grew up with and something I really enjoy, but I've never really cooked it in 30 years of cooking, and so it's as much as I was this is hard. I don't want to leave Oxford. But then the other part of me is that's also a part of who I am. Mm-hmm. And if I don't do it now, while this offer is being made, then this chance to work with, Mehran and the Chai Pani Group, which is by far the best Indian restaurant group in the United States, then I'm never going to be able to do it. And I do want to, find a way to make those recipes, work with these guys, and somehow get them written down so that we have them to pass on to somebody else. So that's why I'm leaving. But Mississippi's home. I'm not gone.
Well, we wish you well, and
thank you very
we'll
much.
Look forward to seeing the good work that comes from our nation's capital.
Thank you. And I hear you spend a lot of time there, so I'll hope to see you there.
I love going to DC.
Yeah, good.
I think DC's south.
It is south.
So,
I was going to ask you, Vish, going to D.C., it is such a culinary, well-known place.
Absolutely.
How is it going and opening a new restaurant? Do you have to make some phone calls and tell some of your chef buddies, hey, I'm coming to town? Or,
No, this is by far the scariest thing I've ever done, right? I mean, I've been entrenched, been very comfortable, done well. And so to kind of pull away from that and make this move, it's scary, man. It is extremely scary, but it's also at the same time very exciting because it is a chance to do something that I had never thought I would do. Matter of fact, I might have even at one point in time said that I was never going to do that.
Never.
Yeah. And so here we are. So never say never, folks.
All right, Chef Vishwesh Bhatt, we are so grateful for you dropping by to see us, and congratulations on your
thank you
your new adventures, and also being the headliner.
I know.
Of Sipp Savor 2025.
It's freaking amazing. This festival is, I think, the best food festival we got happening in the state of Mississippi.
It's really great.
Yeah.
I think this is year 7 or 8.
Yeah,
this is
amazing. I love the format. I love just being that it's in this beautiful town. I mean, it's and people are awesome.
And then you got the oldest restaurant in Mississippi, Wyman's, right around the corner.
I did, and we went in there, and I didn't know what to get, so I got a cheeseburger.
You can never go wrong with a cheeseburger.
Now,
or a meat and 3.
That's right. I'm going to tell you guys this. I saw shrimp and grits on their menu, and I was very tempted to ask them what year that shrimp and grits started. And I'm going to bet you, Malcolm, I'm going to bet you $1 right here on this radio show, and if some people are watching, that shrimp and grit didn't start being served here until after 1992. After John started
when you
serving.
guys started,
that's all
City
John.
Grocery.
Yes. So
John came from South Carolina to Oxford.
I'm going to put that out there, people. You can have a restaurant from 1898, but the shrimp and grits came from City Grocery. That's all.
Right on. All right, thanks for joining us, and go have some fun. Go be a headliner.
Thank you
and
very
we'll
much.
take a break and be right back.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Hello, I'm Desiree Frazier, host of the award-winning news program, Mississippi Edition. We bring you conversations about the latest news from across the Magnolia State. Whether it's politics, healthcare, or education, you'll hear in-depth discussions on issues that matter to you. So join us each weekday morning at 8:30 on MPB Think Radio, or download the podcast, listen through the app, and online.
The Measuring Show.
Since 1970, MPB has been enriching the lives of Mississippians.
Everything we do gives us the chance to grow and learn.
With your support, we are always there whenever and wherever you need us. Together through the years, together in the future. Please consider making a donation at mpbfoundation.org. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Welcome back to Deep South Dining right here on MPB Think Radio. Malcolm White with Java Chatman today.
I'm gonna say I said it at the top of the show, and I'm gonna say it again. If Sipp and Savor 2020, if Sipp and Savor in Meridian at the Max is when I need to fill in, I will gladly step in and fill in. Carol, I'm sorry you're missing out, but somebody had to come and take your space.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
I appreciate it.
Particularly when the food comes.
Yeah, I mean,
you're really shining when
we just talked with Vishwesh Bhatt, and I mean, that guy, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, yes, and he's fed us well.
And then his food is okay, too.
We've got lamb meatballs. We have ribs. We have fried black-eyed peas. We have, is it a lobster slider? We have
lobster
some
sliders, yeah.
Insane. And then before this, we had the food from the fella from Slidell.
Are y'all doing any interviews?
No, we just talk about what we eat.
Okay, all right. Just curious.
No, we just eat. It's what we do. We're at Sipp and Savor.
That's
yes,
right.
It's Sipp and
what
Savor.
you're supposed to do.
That is correct.
And now our guest is Penny Kemp, the executive
Yes.
director of the MAX, the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience in
That's
downtown Meridian, the Queen City.
The Queen City. And we are living up to our name today. There's a reason we are called the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience.
And that is?
You come here and you have an experience. It is way more than a museum. In fact, I would argue that we are an arts and cultural center that has a museum inside it.
Right.
I like that.
Right. And when you come here, you experience something different and interact with artists and chefs and all sorts of interesting, curious people.
And you tell Mississippi stories.
Right. That's right. We tell the stories of Mississippi's creative legacy, and so we're never going to run out of stories,
Never.
right?
Now, speaking of creative legacy, why was it important to highlight food as like one of the arts? Because that often, music and literature and other things are often, go in that bucket, but food and culinary arts often gets a little slighted.
Yeah, but should it?
No, it should not.
Especially not in a state like Mississippi, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Where we're known for our food. Culinary arts absolutely is one of our focuses along with all of the arts. So we literally recognize all art forms from folk art to blues to obviously music, birthplace of America's music. So we've got a lot of stories to tell there, writers, authors, but absolutely.
But to specifically
food,
have Sipp and Savor.
Specifically to have Sipp and Savor, we do it every year. It is our annual fundraiser. It's by far our largest fundraiser every year. And we bring in chefs. It's 40 plus chefs from around the state, but also the Southeast. And we have an opportunity for people to interact with the chefs up close and personal, try their famous dishes, and sip on some mocktails and cocktails and other things. Learn about craft brews, craft distillers, etc. And then enjoy some live music, of course. Vish is going to do a book signing later inside. Our store's open. The exhibits are open. So it's just a day of fun and festival, and we invite everybody to come out and enjoy it with us. And then, of course, the proceeds help us support programming and educational initiatives here. So we've got 75 plus culinary students who are working alongside
I saw
these
them
chefs.
earlier. Yeah, I saw them earlier.
Yeah, so they're from 10 colleges, community colleges, and the University of Mississippi, culinary students from all across the state. So they get a spectacular experience to work side by side with award-winning chefs, and then also to work a festival like this, to see what is involved in pulling something like this off. That's, invaluable.
Big deal. So what year is this for Sipp and Savor?
It's our 5th year.
5th year, okay.
I think I have that right.
And has it grown each year, or has it sort of reached a level that you anticipate?
Well, it grew significantly those first several years. We tried to have the first one. Well, I get confused about the dates. I wasn't here, but at the time when we were trying to have the first one, the pandemic, kept. So there was a period there that got a little pesky. But it grew significantly over those first 2 or 3 years. We're probably going to, and we have today, capped it at 3,000 people. That feels like about the right size. Gets larger than that, we need to kind of look at it differently in terms of how it's managed and footprint, but 3,000 feels about right.
Well, I was speaking to some of the chefs earlier, and they said that you've added sort of a retail piece where they can sell their sauces and sell their products as well as their samples.
That's right. So while we cap the attendance at 3,000, we're always trying to look for things to make it different or better or enhance the experience. So adding that market was designed to do that. Of course, a lot of those products we also will carry in our store, but it gives an opportunity for those merchants to talk about their product and how they're used and all that, again, living up to the experience name. And then Vish, like it said, is doing the book signing, and that's new. We hadn't done that before. Of course,
really? So that's first year for that?
I Am Here cookbook, so we were like, yeah, absolutely, let's do that. And then Kate Medley's exhibit is
perfect, yes.
Perfect fit, yeah. Well, it's not
Her book
an accident.
is so fine. Thank you. Please come again.
Yes. Thank you. Please come again. How Gas Stations Feed and Fuel the American South is an exhibit and a book by Kate Medley, Jackson native.
Murrah High School grad.
Yep, and she is a photojournalist that's done work for New York Times, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal. She put together an amazing coffee table book with over, I think, 200 photos of gas station restaurants all across the Southeast. We've got an exhibit inside. Have y'all seen it yet? Have y'all been in?
I went earlier, yeah.
Okay, good. Make sure you check it out.
Yeah, I will.
Before you. We've got an exhibit inside that's got 25 photographs, large format. About half of them are from Mississippi. The other half are from surrounding states. It's a pretty cool experience. She auto-recorded sound, from inside the gas station, so you can stand in front of Betty's place and you can hear Betty and her brother talking and with their patrons, and it feels like you are in the environment. So it's a cool exhibit. Then you can go upstairs and you can see all of the artists that influenced Kate. So we put little identifiers next to all the folks upstairs like William Eggleston and Bill Ferris and Eudora Welty and others that influenced her from her visual storytelling standpoint.
Now, Penny, are you from Meridian?
I am from Meridian.
I thought you were.
Born and raised.
Because you were at the Riley Center when I was at the Arts Commission.
That's right.
Do I have
That's
that right? Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Meridian, product of Meridian Public Schools, went to Mississippi State, moved all over the Southeast working for marketing and advertising firms, ended up doing a lot of work in the arts and cultural space. Right. And so I moved back. I boomeranged back to Mississippi the first time for the MSU Riley Center. I helped open the MSU Riley Center. I was the marketing director there with Dennis Sankovich. And then I did another little short stint in Knoxville for about 10 years before coming back. And now I say I'm here for good.
Good.
Now, how does it feel to put on for your city? I didn't know you were from Meridian, so to do this in your hometown, it must have a sense of pride attached to it.
Yeah, it is deeply personal for me.
Yes.
I genuinely believe in the power of the arts to transform communities, to transform education. I think there is so much we can be doing in the way of education, workforce development, mental health. The arts intersect with all of that and have a role to play. And I want to make not just Meridian, but the state better through the arts, because, I mean, that's what makes us unique.
That is true, yes.
Is our arts and entertainment, our arts and cultural gifts. And so I want to make that work for us all across the state. So, yeah, it's deeply personal.
Now, y'all do an annual awards, a star. What's the name of that program?
The Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Which I attended at the Riley Center.
It's a little event. Yeah.
It's very nice. But you induct well-known artists from Mississippi or whose work is primarily in Mississippi. Then you put stars in the streets around here somewhere.
That's right. That's right. The Walk of Fame.
The Walk of Fame.
So we got the Hall of Fame and the Walk of Fame. So the Walk of Fame started before this building opened, but they were working on it. And we knew it was going to happen. We, being the community and the state, knew that it was going to happen. And so they started the Walk of Fame. It starts right in front of the Riley Center, and then it trails here and back, across the back of the Max. And every 2 years we induct 5 new members into our Hall of Fame, and across all art forms again. So Bill Ferris, Natasha Trethewey, Matt McAnally, Shelby Foote, and help me. I just
you said Natasha. Anyway, I don't know, but you do 6 or so each year?
5.
5 each year.
5
okay.
a year.
And I guess Jimmy Rogers surely was in on the first.
Absolutely, Jimmy Rogers was in the original class for sure.
When did Jim Henson get?
Jim Henson was in the early class. So everyone that's in the Hall of Fame is also on the Walk of Fame. And then there's some additional people that are on the Walk of Fame that may not necessarily be in the Hall of Fame, but they have a star on the Walk of Fame.
Great. Well, you said that your mom might be watching and listening, so
Hi, Mom.
we're just checking to make sure that Mom's doing well.
Yes. Mom and Dad both may be
They're
watching.
both tuned in.
Yeah, they're both tuned in.
To make sure you're doing right.
Yeah.
Your lipstick is right. And
That's
you're wearing the right outfit.
That's right, Mom. I hope my lipstick looks good. You and Hallie will let me know if it doesn't. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but the sense of pride and community and this state, I did largely come from my dad. He was mayor here in Meridian, civil engineer, and so that whole giving back and making a difference.
Does the former mayor often have advice for his daughter who's running the Max?
If you know the former mayor, you know that he often has advice. But he, I have to give him credit. The older he's gotten pretty good about staying in his lane. But but he definitely has opinions that he shares with me, and I do value them as well as others. So. Yeah.
Have you started thinking about next year? Have you started thinking about Sipp and Savor 2026?
Yes. We immediately start thinking about. I have nothing to share with you other than
you got to get through 2025 first.
We are always thinking about the next year, just like we're thinking about the next Hall of Fame. So
right.
yeah.
Never-ending work.
Never-ending work for sure. And I think it's fitting that our exhibit right now, Kate's exhibit, Thank You, Please Come Again, that's kind of a theme, like, right? We want people to enjoy themselves and come again.
Have you had a chance to eat any food yet? Or you been too busy taking care of business?
I've been taking care of business. I've been making sure folks can get in. I've been checking those lines and wanting to make sure people are having a good time. But everything that I have smelled and looked at just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
you sure got a nice day for it.
Wow, yeah, I was saying...
have you considered a muffler shop?
Yeah.
That might be a nice addition to this area.
Yeah, we might want to rethink the corner location for next year for a sound buffer. But yeah, I forgot what you asked me.
There's no telling.
Yeah.
Well, we've been asking everyone this question because it is Sipp and Savor. It's all about the food. Your perfect meal. I need an entree, 2 sides, a drink, and a dessert.
Now, this wouldn't necessarily be something you made. It could just be your favorite.
Oh, it's definitely not going to be something that I made.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean,
you're telling me something about you?
No. I'm an all right. I do all right, but but no. Oh wow, you put me on my spot. But since you did say an entree, 2 sides, and a dessert, you sort of teamed me up for jeans right down the street.
Right down the street.
Right down the street.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, it's easy.
Yeah.
I love jeans.
It's fried chicken.
Okay.
Collard greens.
Okay.
A waffle on the second one, but between several. But let's just say I'm feeling about summer squash is going to be good soon. So
I like it.
I'm going to put a little summer squash in there. The jalapeno cornbread. I don't know if you asked me if I could do that. And then I got to have some of that homemade pie with the big, huge meringue. Right? Yeah. So I gotta have a piece. And oddly enough, I'm not a big fan of coconut, and I love their coconut pie. So go figure. As does my mom. So there you go. But jeans is spectacular. We've got a lot of great places around here and all across the state. I mean, I'm so excited about what's going on in Jackson.
Yeah, we got a lot going on.
Mayflower and back and your place. I know it's not your place anymore, but
it's our place.
It's our place. That's right. Everything that's happening, so good.
We got another question for you.
Okay.
Favorite utensil or favorite kitchen tool that you go to?
I don't have an air fryer.
Oh, 2 for 2.
Do not have an air fryer. No.
Well, that's okay. Neither do I. And neither did Vish.
Okay.
So you're good.
Okay, this is going to
Java's the only one
I'm an advocate.
promoting the air fryer.
Okay.
Just between us.
I got kitties, so the air fryer, dump it in, turn it on, it's good.
I don't have an air fryer. Y'all are going to make fun of me. I got one of those little things that froths my milk for my coffee, and and so
the foam.
Every morning I make my coffee. I make my coffee. Sometimes if I have time, which is usually only on the weekends, not this weekend, I might use a French press, but I will froth my milk with my coffee, and it's just like it's a little indulgence to get me going in the morning.
It's that beautiful thing.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have one, but I love it.
Well, thanks for inviting MPB to the party.
Absolutely.
Sipp and Savor 2025 is off to a roaring start.
It is.
And we look forward to spending the day here, and we'll be back next year.
Sounds
Penny
great.
Kemp, the executive director of the Max in Meridian, downtown, where Jimmy Rogers came from.
If you haven't been, you should come.
That's right. Every Mississippian should come.
That's
they
right.
They cannot help but leave here and feel proud.
That's right.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more.
Together through the years. Together in the future. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby Rush. As a blues man, I love Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If you support Mississippi music and their local programming, donate now, right now, and become a member today, not tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't matter how big or small, but we prefer big. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Deep South Dining right here on MPB Think Radio. Malcolm White with Java Chatman. And we've moved into the nighttime. It's late night.
We have
Deep South Dining
and Sipp Savor. I want to again say thank you to the Max for putting this on for one, and then having us here for two, and letting us, bum rush the show and talk to some very great people.
I mean, for us, this is as good as it gets. For Deep South Dining to land in a place with 40 chefs, and all this food and all this talk about food and foodways and food culture and stories around food. And so it's our great honor to have with us one of our very good friends of the show who often co-hosts and is often on our show, and we love her favorites. So much. Chef Enrika Williams is with us now. Welcome, Chef.
Hey, Malcolm. Hey, Java.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. This feels good.
We're not in the studio.
We're not in the studio. Beautiful breeze blowing.
Yeah.
Downtown Meridian.
Downtown Meridian. Such a vibe.
I was talking to you off the stage because I was telling you I had to come back to the booth.
Yes.
But you told me y'all have run out. What did you bring that the people have been gobbling up? It's not even more left. Not even more left.
The gobble. So of course, I'm always gonna have to try to figure out a way to do something off the rails. So I did a lamb witch. So I did an adult sloppy joe.
Oh wow!
So instead of using beef, I did lamb. And so the lamb, it had some cacao nib, like a spice blend, red wine, some tomato paste, but I also put an aioli that I made out of lemongrass, and then this was served on a little naan bread, and we had just some micros. And so you eat sloppy joe, typically you have like a sesame seed bun. So instead of having a sesame seed bun, I took the sesame seeds and some other crunchy things, and the secret ingredient of cheese nibs for texture, and did that, and it was fun. Like I love coming to Sipp Savor. This is like my third year, and every time I come, I'm just always like giving like this full scale, do whatever you want to do and we'll support it. So whenever I show up, I always love to just imagine some stuff. People like it, so I come back and do it again.
Now, tell me about the bun. Was it small?
So I used a miniature naan. Naan. But you normally eat sloppy joe with a hamburger bun with sesame seeds. So I still wanted some crunchy texture.
I got you.
So I took a lot of crunchy things, some unconventional crunchy things. I took some crispy okra, like the dehydrated crunchy okra, some plantain chips. I had the cheese nibs, the sesame seeds, and I also used some of the Parmesan frico. So I just wanted it to kind of like have remnants of like, when you bite into this, it's kind of like when you have a sloppy joe, but this is an adult one, so it needs to have a little bow tie on. So I just put a little bow tie.
A little show off.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Sloppy joe.
Put his nice clothes on.
Growing up though, I remember my stepmom would make sloppy joes for us, and that was taco night was big.
Yes.
Sloppy joe night was big.
Yes.
I remember it just like it was yesterday, man. And what I loved about the sloppy joe was how it would ooze out of the bun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was always extra.
More sloppy than Joe. More sloppy than Joe.
Oh, hey, baby, you can be my sloppy Joe.
I love it. Now, Enrika, talk about, I guess, the one piece that we didn't touch on with some of the other chefs, the camaraderie piece where you get to see kind of your contemporaries and maybe some of your inspirations all in one place.
It's such a good thing. Like this is, and I always use the phrase like culinary play date, but it really is just so much fun to be around people who you can tell that they really like food. They love preparing food. And so it's kind of like a class reunion of sorts. Like you get to see people and, oh, you weren't here last year, but you're here this year. I'm so excited. And I also just love to see their creativity too, because that's just like one of the things that drew me to the Sipp and Savor is that they don't give you any requirements, just make enough food of a sample portion to feed X amount of people.
Yeah.
And so when I just see things like, Alex with a chicken heart on a skewer, like what? Like, yes, duck fried rice, Hunter and his sorrel crab salad on a fried saltine. Like, it's just like I'm walking around and I'm just tasting and seeing things, and I was like, okay, so my little mental is just like taking little notes of I need to go back and elaborate on those things.
Yeah.
It's always a fun vibe. It's just, I don't know if it's just the downtown Meridian, the weather always cooperates, but it's just a lot of fun. It's no pressure. It's just no pressure. It's just very easy.
Yeah.
And I love that. Yeah.
Now, we got to hang out a little bit. Was it last week or the week before you prepared all the food for the Mississippi Humanities Council's annual awards program, and there were some tasty bites out there.
Thank you, and congratulations to you on your.
But what have you been working on? What else is going on? You're here. You did that. You stay very busy.
So I am working more on actually writing things down and getting something.
Sound like a book.
I don't know what it is. It's a something.
Okay.
It's a something. Okay. I don't know, but I feel like I just have all of these experiences and things that I want to share, and I'm still just inspired by the people and the opportunities that I have, that it just needs a place to go. Mm-hmm. So I've been lucky enough that people are like encouraging me to bring my things to them and showcase it. So just more writing, more just really being very intentional about working with the next generation. I know it sounds like I'm like 1,000 years old, but the last few events that I've been doing, I've just been so excited to see hungry students and volunteers that are helping us with this. And so for me, the next thing for me is like, how can I do more things so I can bring you to and share with that, so the experience is not only good for you, but it's also like helpful for me. Like, just, I think as a chef or a creative, it is our obligation and our responsibility. We can't take this with us, and we have to continue to support the next generation. So I've just been really fortunate that people want to work with me and like look for other things to do. So I've just been that. I need a rest. I am.
We all need a rest.
I think right. I need a rest. So rest is awesome. That's something in the horizon. But just writing,
didn't you recently go to somewhere out of the country? You went somewhere really cool.
I went to Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, I was there. I went the end of the year.
Okay.
And I got back in January.
So you got time to go again.
I am
or
trying.
Go somewhere.
Yes, Costa Rica is such a magical place. It's just so much. It's so many things, and it's just very simple, or as lush as you need it to be, and the food is delicious, and the weather is better. So, yeah.
So we've been asking everybody a couple of questions.
Is it time for the air fryer question?
Now it's time for Java's air fryer moment.
That's good. You should do that, Java.
Well, I don't know if it's I'm trying to make people share the air fryer moment. We've been asking people what's their favorite
rejection.
You don't want to do
it. What's their favorite appliance, their kitchen appliance or kitchen utensil that they use?
Yeah,
and I've been campaigning for the air fryer, but nobody has jumped on board.
I'll jump on board. I have an air fryer.
You have an air fryer?
I do.
Okay, there we go.
I do have an air
fryer. Praise the Lord.
You said somebody.
Somebody. Finally.
Well, Alex was on board a little bit.
Just a little
He
bit.
had an air fryer
after a bar night. Yeah, after a bar night.
I have one in my home.
Okay.
I use it.
There you go.
So I like to use my air fryer to dehydrate things.
Ah.
It has a dehydrate thing on it. So I use it to dehydrate things because I am like very fascinated with spice blends and just curating like flavors without using like salt, but just using different treatments of food. So I love the air fryer for that. I love it to crisp up leftover pizza.
There we go.
Because it gets it done real quick. And it still gives you the crunch, and it's not soggy or terrible like you have to do to put it in the microwave.
There you go.
And
no, microwave bad on
some
pizza.
chicken nuggets or some.
I see little things like that, like little pot pies and stuff. Oh my God, I'm just telling all my business. I know as a chef, you're like, you eat this stuff? I do. So I put me a little chicken nuggets in there, some little mozzarella cheese sticks.
There you go.
Burn up some smoked sausage, a little bit because I like my smoked sausage burned. So it's and it does it quickly. I've rotisserie a chicken. I've spatchcocked it, cut the backbone out, flattened it out, and I've seasoned it, and I put the whole thing in the air fryer, and it took like a quarter of the time, and the skin was insane. So you need to get you. Do you have an air fryer?
I do not.
So you need to get you an air fryer.
I've
Just
been
start
reluctant,
small.
but
start small.
My daughter has one. She has an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and this is how she can make it. After work, go home quickly. Use the air fryer, and the kids love it. She loves it, I just mostly just love poking fun at Java about his air fryer moments.
I really like this air fryer moments though, Java.
We may have to come up with something.
I think you need to, and it can be just like little small segments, air fryer, because it don't take as much time.
Yeah, that's right.
And just work them in all throughout the day. Yeah,
you really.
Now you got my wheels turning. Another question we've been asking people is if there was a restaurant that's like represented here at Sipp and Savor that you would take over, what restaurant would that be? It's really a restaurant that you kind of admire because you want to you want to be involved with it.
Ooh.
And so you could put it out there.
She said, what she said? I don't want no restaurant. I got out of the restaurant business.
So it's a little bit of that. It's a little bit of that. I love, of course, Hunter is my guy. So I love Elvis and the Mayflower, but I love Vestige on the coast.
There we go.
I just love the menu, the thought, the ingredients. A lot of the ingredients are very new and unfamiliar, but I just love the treatment of the food, and just the tasting menu that they have, and just the way the whole service. That's like one of my dream things. That would be one of my top ones. That would definitely be. Yeah.
All right, that's good. I like that.
But I love them all now, so I don't want any angry DM.
You want next year to be like, what? You know what she said about us?
Right. I don't want any of that. I don't want any no angry.
Did anything today or tonight surprise you? I know you did mention Alex Perry's chicken hearts on a skewer, but was anything else that sort of blew you back?
There was a bite. I can't remember the name, but it was in this little, it was like some sort of little pastry cup, and they had filling in it, and then she had the old school champagne fountain, but it had this delicious green broth seasoning, and she put it under there, and she was like, you have to eat the entire thing at once. So it was like cold, it was herbaceous, it was pork, it was like salty, crunchy, like it was just all of these things.
She would dip it under there and then hand it to you?
It was in a little, she had it like the thing, I don't know what it is, but it looked like it was something hollowed out, and it had the ingredients inside. And so when you would come up, she already had it like in a little plate, and so she would just stick it under the fountain, and it would fill it up with liquid. And so when she would hand it to you, she would let you know how to eat it. She said you have to eat the entire thing. So I'm like leaning over, and I'm just tossing this back like it's a shot. And it's just all of these things. It's the texture, it's the flavors. I'm like, what is in here? Like if this was something that I don't eat, it's too late because I've already eaten it. So that was just kind of like my what the what.
You don't remember who it was or which booth it was?
I don't remember what booth it was. They had not the pink tablecloth, but there was this green champagne fountain, this old school fountain, and she
Okay.
had like this beautiful beverage
We'll
there.
have to go check it out.
Yes.
Yeah, if
We're
you know
gonna
what
hit
it
the road
is,
in a
drop
minute and
it
go
in the
back
comments.
Yes, if
Yeah.
you know, yes, and if y'all, yes, because definitely, but that was a surprise, and of course, Aplos and the octopus puss, they always knock it out. I love that octopus.
Yeah.
I love it. It was just so good.
Nice.
Is it grilled?
I think it was like poached and it was chilled. But I didn't taste
okay.
any char on it, so I think it might have been just like poached.
We want to thank Enrika Williams,
Thank
Chef
y'all.
Enrika Williams, for
Thank
joining
you,
us.
thank you.
As always, it's a delight to have you.
Always.
Deep South Dining is a production of Mississippi Public Broadcasting's Think Radio and is funded by the generous contributions from listeners like yourself, and we thank you. Our MMPs were Clark Lee and Justin Hill. We want to thank them very, very much. For all of our guests on Sipp Savor 2025 here at the Max in Meridian, and for my co-host Java Chatman, I am Malcolm White, saying please stay tuned now for Marshall Ramsey's program, Now You're Talking, followed by Southern Remedy at 11, and please join us right here every Monday and every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. for more Deep South Dining, heard right here on MPB Think Radio.
Oh, baby now.